Over 600 deaths in less than 20 years, all at the hands of a single person. But how was this even possible? Let's go back in time to 17th century Italy. On July 12, 1633, in Palermo, Sicily, a 13-year-old Giulia finds herself alone in the world after her mother is executed. The mother's crime? Murdering her husband and Giulia's father. Giulia grew up in a world where women once married lived at the mercy of their husbands and were often trapped in abusive relationships. The young Giulia, however, went on to make quite a name for herself. By some accounts, she spent time with apothecaries or pharmacists of the time, learning how to mix potions, cosmetics, perfumes, and medicines. She learned and mastered skills that she would later put to rather unique use. She soon started her own business. Her business thrived and even allowed her to expand to other cities in Italy like Naples and Rome. The secret to her success was not perfumes and creams, but a really dark one that came in a very pretty bottle. It was a poison called Aqua Tofana. This deadly poison that Giulia concocted contained arsenic, lead, belladonna, and a cocktail of other chemicals, all fatal when consumed. It reportedly earned her a very suitable nickname, the Queen of Poison. But what made this toxic cocktail such a hit? Aqua Tofana was discreetly sold to women who needed to get out of their difficult marriages along with other merchandise from the shop. The bottle was designed to look like a perfume or healing holy oil, which could be easily concealed within a woman's makeup kit. The poison itself was transparent, tasteless, and odorless. A few drops of this concoction in the food or wine of their husbands would result in them falling very ill. The poison would cause exhaustion, stomach aches, extreme thirst, vomiting, dysentery, and eventual death. Basically, not the best way to go. The slow-working poison was so effective that it didn't even show up in the postmortems at the time. The perfect crime committed by the seemingly devoted wife who was now a liberated widow. According to some, the original formula was created by Giulia's mother and passed down to the future generations. Giulia Tofana's daughter, Girolama Spara, was also involved in the family business. As the business grew, Aqua Tofana was distributed through a complex underground network that Giulia built. By some estimates, it had a headcount of around 200 people, including cunning women, astrologers, alchemists, con men, witches, shady apothecaries, backstreet abortionists, and even priests from the church. Giulia Tofana's divorce in a bottle helped hundreds of women get rid of unwanted or abusive husbands, making her one of the most prolific poisoners in history. But how long did she manage to keep this scheme running? Well, this murderous empire built on secrets and poison did come to an end that was shrouded in mystery, with various versions of how this legend saw a demise. According to one in the 1650s, Aqua Tofana's decades of social service finally caught up with Giulia. A customer of hers had second thoughts about killing her husband and stopped him from consuming the poisoned soup. Then, the game was up. The lady was taken to the authorities to confess her crime. She gave up the source of the poison, but Giulia got away and found sanctuary in a convent, from where she continued to dispense Aqua Tofana. This, however, did not last for long. Word spread that the water supply was being poisoned. An angry mob stormed the convent and handed her over to the authorities. In a confession that was tortured out of her, Giulia Tofana claimed responsibility for the deaths of over 600 men between 1633 and 1651. She was eventually executed in a public hanging in Rome for these crimes, along with her daughter and 3 other employees. Various other members of her network and even former clients were also caught and punished. Giulia's body was dumped back at the convent that had hidden her as a warning to others. There are, however, varying dates for when she was finally executed, from July 1659 to 1709. And according to one, it was in 1730, which would make her around 100 years old. Others say that she died of natural causes in 1651, while according to some, she was never caught and continued secretly supplying her deadly potion to clients through a religious network for years. Long after Giulia, Aqua Tofana remained the stuff of legend. Even the great composer Mozart was convinced on his deathbed that he had been poisoned by this deadly potion. No one today knows the exact recipe of Aqua Tofana. Yet, these drops of poison have left their lethal mark on history. For more such killer content, be sure to subscribe to Nutshell India.